Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Yesterday saw two giants of the game do battle, and it was Ronnie O Sullivan who came out on top against the reigning champion of champions, John Higgins. The Rockets reward a meeting with Renaissance man Anthony Hamilton tonight. On the other side of the draw, former world champion Shaun Murphy meets the in-form Luca Brissell. You can see that game this time tomorrow night. And alongside me, Neil Foulds, Alan McManus, Stephen Hendry. Looking forward to this one. The crowd will be in as Ronnie's such a huge draw. But he blew Higgins out the water last night, didn't he?
Well, I don't think anyone thought 6-0 was going to be the score. It kind of looked that way at 4-0, I have to say. And we were, scurrying around trying to find whitewashes between the two players, thin on the ground, like their head-to-heads read like War and Peace, the amount of times they played. But it was one of the more one-sided matches, and Ronnie was buzzing after it, I think, and he finished off with back-to-back centuries. Brilliant.
It was very much the Ronnie show, wasn't it, Stephen?
Yeah, as a contest, it was a wee bit of a letdown. Obviously, we built it up as this clash of the titans kind of thing, and it never materialised. But yeah, Ronnie just got stronger, as he does. He's the best front runner in the game, possibly ever. He just gets stronger and stronger, and as Neil said, finishing with 2 centuries, that's what he does. It
is ominous, isn't it, for everybody else looking at Ronnie when he's in that kind of form?
Yeah, you're just looking at the lineup in the semis. Obviously, Ronnie's a warm favourite, and justifiably so, especially the way he's playing. I think his game is as good as it's ever been, quite frankly. His long game's better than it's ever been, and that's a potent combination.
If you were Anthony Hamilton, what would be going through your mind at the minute, Neil?
Well, I mean, he's a good player who Ronnie respects, actually, and Ronnie doesn't have a lot of time for many players. He can win. He's got the game, because when he gets going, he's a prolific break builder. Not in the O'Sullivan, Hendry, and one or two others class, but he is a seriously good player. But it looks, unless we have underestimated something, like he's got a mountain to climb tonight, doesn't it?
OK. He spoke to us in the studio on Monday night after his win over Ryan Day, and he made it clear he was desperate to face one of the game's big guns.
I'd love to play Ronnie or John. Last hurrah for me. I don't care if we get pumped to Zep.
I'm just going to one table. Big,
the two gods, the three gods. One of them's here, and those two. We'll play one of those two.
Nice of you to mention that, Neil. But there we go.
I think he was a good player as well,
Yeah, very likeable Anthony Hamilton there. He gets his wish, though. Don't be fooled by that modesty, though. He'll be out to win today, no doubt about that. Well, now to his opponent. And it's part 2 of Stephen's must-watch meeting with Ronnie O Sullivan.
Do you ever look back at matches in your career? Do you ever look like... Sometimes I'll be at home and I'm bored and I maybe flick through. I mean, I never watch myself, but sometimes you flick through and see old matches. Do you ever do that?
I try not to, because I kind of I looked at some
of your technique or whatever.
Yeah, I start over-analysing. But I mean, I did look back last couple of months thinking, well, because I thought I played really well in 2012 to 2015, and I noticed a couple of things different in my technique, not massively, and I thought, well, maybe try and work on that.
Do you think you've changed your game at all? Cause when people say, oh, Ronnie's like, my name is an attacking player, but I think you play quite a percentage game now, because like if you get a chance, you're just going to dish up.
Yeah.
So you wait for other players to make the mistake.
Yeah.
So at the end, you've gone more that way.
Yeah, I think that comes.
You refuse quite a lot, didn't you? No, really.
Yeah, because I think, well, why push the boat out? I'm quite comfortable playing the safety game. My long potting's a lot better than it used to be. I'm scoring as well as I ever have done, and I think, well, you've got to play the right shot, really. And why should I leave them an easy opportunity when I'm happy to play the waiting game? And I think that comes with a bit of confidence in your game. I think sometimes I used to attack because I wasn't confident of playing a good safety shot. Nowadays, I think I fancy I'm going to play an half decent safety shot. So and it's just about just trying to keep the pressure on your opponent sometimes.
See, when you come to tournaments, obviously today, this tournament, obviously the build-up, the TV, it's all geared to you. Do you like that? You just get used to it now. That's all a lot of it's all about you.
I felt a bit of pressure today, to be honest with you. I mean, I went out there and it was a packed crowd, and and sometimes I think they expect me to fly at my brains and make tons, 90s and 80s, and just going to push over.
It's like they just want to see you, don't it?
Yeah, but there's still that added pressure that you think.
Because Jimmy had it, didn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, Jimmy had it.
Yeah, when they say "come on, Ronnie," and then as you're losing, the "come on, Ronnie's" get a bit, "oh, come on, Ronnie," and you think, "oh, I'm letting everybody down." So you kind of do feel a bit of pressure, but then when you start to play well, you kind of get in it. And you start to get involved in the gap match. I then think, at least I've competed. I've gave them something, worth watching. And But no, I try to block it out, and I just try to just enjoy playing and think, you know what, I'm here to play, and if I lose, no big deal. You know?
Yeah. How often when you're playing? I remember obviously when I was number one, it was a great feeling. How often do you play players and you think, well, you can't beat me? It's like you just get that feeling, you just know, don't you? You just get that feel. It doesn't matter what I do, he can't beat me today.
Yeah.
There must be, I don't know, maybe Selby, John Higgins. Robertson's not as strong as he used to be.
No.
Possibly on his day, Trump. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who else? Everyone else, you say, well, I think if I play decent, he can't beat me.
Yeah. If I'm playing decent, I just think this is going to be a lovely day. You know what I mean? Let's go out. There's no better feeling.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world.
Best feeling in the world. But then there's the flip side that if it isn't going well, then you kind of, you have to tough it out, and the anxiety can kick in. But yeah, I mean that's why.
Even then, they've got to go over the winning line, and you watch them the last frame, and you can just sense the nervousness.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you say, I think while you're confident and enjoying the game, and you think, I'm consistently playing all right, how do you give something up that you think, I've got this game, I can control what's going on, so it's very difficult to give up, and I think I'll keep continuing playing and expecting to win while I'm feeling like that.
Fantastic insight there from Ronnie O Sullivan. Clearly enjoyed having a chat to you there, Stephen. It's interesting you were asking about, would you look across the table and think, you can't beat me? I mean, is that what he's going to come out and think today? I mean, to be fair to Anthony Hamilton, he has beat Ronnie twice.
Yeah, but I think Ronnie's in a supreme vein of form where he will expect to win tonight. He'll come out expecting to win. He won't think for any second that Anthony can beat him. But snooker's such a sport that if Anthony's at the table potting the balls, there's nothing Ronnie can do about it, no matter how good he is. What Neil said, we've seen Anthony in the past. He can go through 3-4 and make 3-4 centuries. He's not frightened to score. Whether he can do that tonight in this big packed audience, as I say, it's the Ronnie O'Sullivan show. It's a mountain.
He's very laid back, though, Anthony Hamilton, isn't he? He's not going to be overwhelmed or intimidated by it.
No, he won't be. He knows Ronnie well. I was chatting to him earlier. He was telling me stories of Ronnie phoning him up at 2 in the morning, asking him about what tip to put on and all that. It's kind of stuff. So he's familiar. They're good pals. But going back to that little interview, a compulsive viewing, and also it's good for me, just on a personal level, to hear these two guys talking to each other the way they were, kind of not boastful, but saying world number one. And when I was doing that, because you never hear Stephen or Ronnie speak about things like that to what we call normal snooker people. It's a bit like these kind of maths magicians, isn't it? That there's only a few people in the world that understand it. I know it's maybe going a bit overboard, but
I think you're 100% right. I don't think there are many people you can have that kind of conversation with, Stephen.
That's the point.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with what we've achieved in the game, we've got a lot in common, and obviously Ronnie's slowly getting towards all my records. As I said in the interview, there's 2 or 3 left, but he's getting there. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was great. A great listen, and we might even get a bit more of it as the weekend goes on. If Ronnie gets the bit between his teeth tonight, we saw him whitewash John Higgins. Is that something you could expect to see here tonight?
Well, I think it's possible. He could beat him very, very comfortably, actually. I think Anthony Hamilton is capable of, we keep saying it, but he is. He's a really nice guy. Everyone likes him, never heard a bad word against him. But tonight he's just got to prove himself. But we did mention the other night an interesting point, that when he won his maiden event, which was in Berlin, that's a huge audience there. 3,000 people, and he held himself together. So he won't be fazed by anything. It's more the man in the other chair, I think.
He's taking the pressure off himself, saying, I'm going to get pumped and all this and that. Yeah. He might come out completely relaxed tonight. You never know what might happen.
So exactly. One of the many interesting things in that interview with Ronnie was him saying that he does feel under a degree of pressure when he comes into an auditorium like this, and you see the crowd respond to him and cheer for Ronnie. Come on, Ronnie. And I'm surprised that he actually feels that level of pressure.
I think the pressure's on Ronnie tonight to continue where he left off last night, which is not always easy. Sport is not so simple as that.
OK, we're going to get to the action very soon. As I said, huge crowd in the audience tonight. And after the break, we'll find out if the Sheriff of Pottingham can stand up to the brilliance of one of the greatest players ever to pick up a cue.